definitely we will be talking about the carousel teaching strategy and on how are we going to integrate this strategy in the teaching and learning of social studies. Today we will be making a lesson plan which revolves around the topic on Asian studies, particularly on the physical geography of Asia, the water forms, land forms, climate, vegetation cover, and the importance of human-environment interaction in the shaping of Asian civilization. O ang pisikal na katangian ng Asya, ang anyong tubig, anyong lupa, klima at vegetation cover, at ang kahalagahan ng ugnayan ng tao at kapaligiran sa paghubog ng kabihas ng Asyano. Our competency for today can be found in the DepEd's most essential learning competency on Grade 7 Asian Studies, Quarter 1, Week 2. Napapahalagahan ang ugnayan ng tao at kapaligiran sa paghubog ng kabihas ng Asyano, or giving a value and appreciation as to how the relationship and interaction of both human and its environment shaped the Asian civilization. Now let us begin integrating our carousel teaching strategy in teaching and learning. But first, what is this strategy all about? The carousel is a cooperative learning strategy involving movement, just like the literal carousels, with discussions, brainstorming, and reflection. Now this strategy follows 5 steps: organizing learning stations, forming carousel teams, jotting down the answers, synthesizing thoughts, and taking the test. So now, let's write in. Before starting the carousel's cooperative learning, as a teacher, it is important to have a bit of introduction in the subject matter you all be tackling about. You can throw a bit of questions to the students, like if they were to visit a place in Asia, what place would they like to visit and why? Some students would probably answer Nepal because of Mount Everest or Bohol for its chocolate hills. With the stimulation, you can prepare your students for the activity ahead. After the bits of intro, let us jump into the step 1 of our carousel learning strategy. Step 1. Organize learning stations. Now, as a teacher and the facilitator of learning, you have to prepare the different learning stations. These stations will be designated in the different areas of the classroom. Now here, I prepared 5 different learning stations. Learning Station 1, anyong lupa or landforms. Station 2, anyong tubig or water forms. Station 3, klima or climate. Station 4, vegetation cover. And the last learning station is kahalagahan ng kapaligiran sa sibilisasyong Asyano, or the importance of environment in the Asian civilization. Now each of these stations has its own guide questions. Learning Station 1 to 4 has similar structure of questions. The guide question is, ano ang iba't ibang anyong lupa for Station 1? Anyong tubig for Station 2? Klima for 3? Vegetation cover sa Asia 4? At ilarawan ang mga ito. And for Station 5, the question is, ano ang kahalagahan ng pisikal na heograpiya sa sibilisasyong Asyano? After Step 1, we can now proceed to Step 2, forming the carousel teams. In here, I decided to group the class through deck of card grouping. Let us say I have 25 students in my class, so I prepared 25 playing cards. And each of these students are going to pick one card for themselves. Then the students will be grouped according to the card they get. There will be 5 groups since there will be 5 learning stations. There will be kings, queens, aces, jacks, and tens. And each of them will be assigned to different learning stations. Kings goes to 1, queens to 2, aces to 3, jacks to 4, and tens to 5. Now it's time for the groups to go to their designated learning stations because the carousel ride will now begin as we proceed to step number 3. Step number 3. This is a step that involves reading of the materials and answering the guide questions. Members of the team agree what to write on the carousel sheets. This step will consume 25 minutes as I assigned 5 minutes per learning station. After doing this, they have to move to the succeeding 4 other learning stations doing the same routine. Now, since they were all able to finally complete the ride, they will go back to their stations and proceed to step 4, the the synthesizing of thoughts. This is the process of clustering and synthesizing all answers among different teams. They will have 10 minutes for discussion and synthesizing. After doing this, a team leader or representative report this output to the whole class. Each of the representatives will present their output within 5 minutes. After the presentation, we now proceed to the last step of the teaching strategy, which is the taking of the test. This time, the entire class will be given 5 minutes to review and then the formative test will follow. This test will only be a 10-item test. So, this is how the carousel ends. It ends with a test. But to complete our lesson plan, we can proceed to the assessment part. In this part of the lesson, I decided to utilize an authentic assessment instead of a traditional one since I already gave a formative test during the carousel strategy, and this would be a lot better for students. And then I will give to the class an assignment where they're going to explore the geography of Asia using the Google Earth and write their questions and reflection on the journal. Now, with the use of carousels and other cooperative learning strategies, we can make a colorful pedagogies for the teaching of social studies that will be a lot more fun-filled and learnable for students. Now experience your best teaching ride with a carousel teaching strategy.